Hi everyone. This is your announcement for September 10th, 2018 for Philosophy 101G, Introduction to the Art of Wondering. So this week, last week we wrapped up and finished the Meno by Plato. So I hope you enjoyed that text. It's one of my favorites. I think I mentioned in a previous announcement it was my first exposure to Plato. So to me it's a special text. But we move on and we continue to think about the idea of knowledge and what knowledge is. So we're going to jump ahead in time chronologically about 1,000 years and read a text that was written by a philosopher named René Descartes. He was French, and he wrote in the 16th century. I think I have that right. So you can see quite a bit of time has gone on from the time we were studying of Plato. So this week you should be starting to read the material which is assigned for this week. So when you go to our module learning activities page, after you read the module overview, you will see that everything is there that you need. Okay, so read through this carefully. Module 2.2, Learning Activities and Assessments. We're going to start with Meditation 1, which is the first part of Descartes' writing. He divides up his writings into what he calls meditations, so thinkings, thoughts. Okay, so I have a little video lecture that you need to watch that will help you to understand what's going on in Meditation 1. And so that's there for you. And then I have links to the actual material. So you are going to read Meditation 1, the entire meditation, and then you're going to read part of Meditation 2. So I have links to both of those materials. Okay, there is also a self-check quiz, which is due September 12th, which is this Wednesday. And then kind of your big project. Now we're going to take 2 weeks for this module. So this week, I'd like you to focus on reading the material and really kind of thinking about that. Take the self-check quiz. But you can also, and I highly recommend that you look ahead to the kind of the project for this week, and that's the module 2.2 exercise and discussion. So what you're going to do is you're going to create an artistic interpretation of the meditations. Okay, so the instructions on how to do this are on that same learning activities page for module 2.2. And I have links to 3 pages within that. Okay, so there are 3 pages of instructions. So it's very important that you read each of those 3 pages. Okay, so what you're going to be doing, I'll kind of try to summarize, but you still need to read those instructions, okay, because if you don't, then something's going to go wrong. But there's 3 things you're going to do. You're going to, 1, write a summary of the text. And I've actually assigned everyone a portion of the text based on your last name, and you'll see that in the instructions. But you're going to write a summary of the text, and then you're going to create a visual interpretation of your assigned part of the text. Now, that visual interpretation can come in many different forms. You can do a PowerPoint presentation, which is what a lot of people do, and that's fine. Or you can do like a collage on a piece of poster board, which is what my face-to-face students do. But if you're going to do that, you have to make sure you take a picture and that it's clear and that I can read it all and I can make it all out. But just to give you some examples, these are past classes projects of collages. This is kind of a special one. This is over 10 years old, but I had a student who was quite the artist, and so he created this interpretation. But more conventionally, students, and these were group projects, but you're going to do this individually. But this is another one. So you can see these students are giving us an interpretation of the pieces of the text that they were assigned. Okay, so that 7, 8, and 9, that all corresponds to parts of the text. This is kind of cool because it's sort of three-dimensional. You know, they have like things you can feel and stuff. Okay, so that's another way that you can complete this project. It doesn't have to be a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, you can be creative. Other students have done hand-drawn things, and again, as long as it's photographed clearly and I can make everything out and I can read every word that you might put onto the picture, then that's fine. And if you do pictures, you should have, you know, mentioned the text in your pictures. Okay, we'll talk more about this next week, about what exactly the project requires. Okay, but for now, go ahead and look at the instructions, start reading them, and start thinking about what it is that you want to do. Okay, so and then the third part of that is that you will upload your project to a discussion board, and that's going to be for everyone to see. Okay, so we're going to share this. Everyone's going to share their project. And then there'll be a conversation about that on the discussion board. And again, that's how to do that is in the instruction pages, okay? And then after that, there'll be a journal due, which will be after we finish the project in 2 weeks. Okay, so that's what we're working on for the next 2 weeks. Rene Descartes, we're continuing to think about what knowledge is and how do we know things. And how do we trust our senses, and where is knowledge really taking place? Is it perception or is it what we sense? So those are all pretty interesting questions. Okay, so if you have any questions or you need to communicate with me, please do so. I am here to answer questions and to address any concerns that you might have. Okay, so I hope you all have a great week. This Wednesday and Thursday, I will not be in my office. I'm going to be in Las Cruces at a conference at NMSU, but I will have my laptop with me, so I will, you know, still be responding to messages and whatnot. Okay, I just might not call you back because I won't be able to get to my phone. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, and I hope you all have a really good week. Bye.